It was really frustrating at these district auditions where I would go in and get perfect scores on my scales, but then absolutely bomb the sight reading.
I failed every single class in 5th grade.
I mean, I feel sorry for the people I worked with because I couldn't play. Someone would put a piece of music in front of me and I would just freak out.
I remember when I was in 5th grade, I had come to a public school from private, and the teacher was going over math problems on the board, and it was totally different from what I had learned. I had used like the checkerboard and all these hands-on things, and from going from that to sitting at a desk and just looking at a board, and I thought it was like the end of the world. I thought this was totally different, and I didn't understand how kids could learn this way.
I remember when I was at Suzuki Camp and everyone around me was in the right place and knew exactly where they were, and I felt like I was the only one that didn't know what was going on, and the notes in front of me didn't make any sense, and I just sat there and cried.
People will call me they used to call me a lot of awful things. They don't say that anymore, but especially when I just moved, they would literally attack me and tell me how I could never learn. Oh, I'm going to the special needs room.
I've had 2 completely different diagnoses. One of them was dyslexia and one of them was mild ADHD, and neither of them really answered the problem that I was having.
Yeah, at first they diagnosed me with ADD, and that was completely wrong. My doctor said that I had that, and I needed medication for that. But my mom wanted to check thoroughly if I actually had that, and she went to another psychologist who said that I have nonverbal learning disability, which is completely different. And it's also a form of obsessive-compulsive disorder, where if something isn't completely right, like if I don't complete something, I will feel completely anxiety-ridden, and I can't do anything unless I've achieved that.
Last summer at Interlochen, I was concertmaster of the orchestra, and they gave us an orchestral excerpt. If anyone's played Heldenleben in the first violins, there's this one page that is just an absolute nightmare, and I made a lot of friends, and I would if I heard someone playing the music right, I would go over and say, "Hello, my name is Carson. Can you show me how to do this?" And of course they would go, "But you're the concertmaster," and I say, "Shh, help me with this," so that I can stay concertmaster. I feel like this disability has really defined me as a player and as a person in the way I work and the way I go about doing music. And it's a funny thing that when my friends are complaining about having to read really strangely spelled music like Bartok or Ligeti, I just tell them that, well, for me, it's no harder to read that music than it is for me to read Suzuki Book 1.
With the viola, there is no anxiety at all for me. When I feel stressed or like everything's going wrong, if I pick up my viola, I just go into like the separate world where I don't feel stupid. I feel like the most intelligent person on the earth because I can feel the emotions of the viola, and it just feeds off of how I feel. So I'm pretty much expressing my whole entire life and how I feel about things through my viola when I'm playing music.